Hey everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. It is bold predictions, a little bit different vantage point of the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. You can guess what the weather might be like as we film this and get ready for the thriller on Saturday night in the Horseshoe, Ohio State in Akron in prime time. That's Spencer Holbrook, Jeremy Birmingham. I'm Austin Ward. Zach Carpenter is out on assignment. He didn't win for best prediction last week anyway, so he got kicked off the show for this week.
Wouldn't that be great if we did that every week? Like whoever had the worst predictions got booted.
Yeah,
and couldn't come back.
We definitely should do that.
Well, I mean, the guy who hosted predicts a punt return. They haven't had one since 2010, so
2014, Spencer.
2014.
Get it right.
2010's the kickoff return.
There's nothing wrong with being optimistic at this point.
That's true.
In Ohio State football worldview of optimism is both appreciated but also necessary to get through covering this team right now.
There's nothing more bold than predicting something that now hasn't happened in 7 years. I don't know. Will I predict it today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
you want to start with that one?
Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Against Akron. What? Cameron Martinez.
Ooh, now we're talking dirty.
Will return a punt for a touchdown against Akron. No need to put Garrett Wilson out there. Maybe he'll get one just to stay in a routine. Man, Cameron Martinez, Berm, I don't know if you know this, but when you put the football in his hand, it is electrifying. He had a highlight reel from high school that was 75 minutes of touchdowns.
I've heard that. I've seen it. It was actually...
I actually told Mark Pantoni that he needed to recruit this quarterback. He's playing small high school football in Michigan.
What division was it?
8A.
8.
Yeah.
It's just 8A,
pretty crazy.
Right? Yeah. No, very, very good start to the show here. Spencer.
That was a true story.
Do you want to go first?
I just went first.
He just went first.
Nah, I don't count that. Do you want to go first?
Martinez, punt return for a touchdown.
Okay, Cam Martinez, punt return for a touchdown. Check.
Okay, so all week, the storyline, especially for me, because I just wrote about it on lettermenrow.com,
nice teaser.
The storyline has been about the pass rush and how Ohio State can't get a pass rush right now. Well, Akron's pretty bad. I don't know if I've made that clear this week. I think Akron is absolutely horrendous.
Okay.
Ohio State, as a team, 5 first-half sacks.
5 first-half sacks.
As a team. I don't know who they'll be because when you got 4 guys swarming that offensive line and swarming the quarterback, you know, the sacks could be kind of arbitrary. They could go to different guys. I'm not going to predict exactly which guys because I think they're just going to roll people in there. But this young defensive line, it's really starting to get it turned up. JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, Tyleek Williams, like these guys all look really hungry to get some sacks. And I think this is the time to really turn them loose. Let Larry Johnson see what they can do on the field. Put some film out there. I think these guys are going to be ready. Let's go with 5 first-half sacks.
Sack lunch.
To paraphrase the old "if a tree falls in the woods, does it really make a sound" thing, if you get a pass rush against Akron, does it really count as a pass rush? But we'll take it. We'll move forward.
We have to predict something.
Last week, I said Ohio State was going to have 3 100-yard rushers and 3 100-yard receivers. I was a little off. They almost had 1 running back with 300 yards. But that's not what I intended, so I'm not going to give myself any credit for that one.
Nor should you.
Okay. This week, I'm going to start with Lathan Ransom. We'll have 2 pick sixes against Akron.
Woo!
Yeesh!
Lathan Ransom, 2 touchdowns.
That's muy caliente.
Sí.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think Lathan Ransom is the best defensive back on this team. And I think he's just a guy who's been reliable and consistent since he got inserted into the lineup last year. And I think this opportunity against a team like Akron, where he might be able to take a few more chances, because if you're not going to really get beat downfield by him, I think you're going to see him kind of take a risk or two and pay off. That's why. I like to give analysis with my boldness because I think that makes for a better show.
That is probably the idea behind the show. That's important. Kyle McCord needs to play in this game. He will play in this game. I don't, at this point, anticipate that he'll start, although as we've talked throughout the week, I think it would be a good idea for C.J. Stroud to rest that shoulder just to see if he gets closer to 100% in time for Big Ten play. You don't even need to throw a pass if you're Ohio State to beat Akron, but, or at least C.J. Stroud doesn't, but Kyle McCord needs to get on the field. If we are correct in our belief that Kyle McCord is the backup quarterback for this team, which I'm quite certain that we
Isn't
are.
that the hilarity of this entire situation? Like, we don't even know for sure that he would be. But, like,
I would say with 98% confidence that Kyle McCord would be the first quarterback in the game for Ohio State if they had to have a number 2 in there. If I'm wrong, then Jack Miller can point that out to me later, and we will all apologize for misleading you. But I don't think that any of us are under the assumption that it's anyone other than McCord. So he's a true freshman. He has not thrown a pass. He's not stepped on the field yet for Ohio State. If that situation were to arise where C.J. Stroud needed to be replaced, he absolutely needs reps and experience. He needs to throw the football against somebody other than Ohio State's defense in a real setting with real stakes, with people watching, with the starting Buckeyes. And when he does, I think he's incredibly talented. Great poise, probably a little bit more athletic than he tends to get credit for, and just a massive arm. So Kyle McCord, I think, will make his debut and throw for 200 yards with 3 touchdowns.
There are certain games in every season where a team like Ohio State, who recruits 4- and 5-star caliber players, need to get those 4- and 5-star caliber players on the field. And I'm not saying guys are unhappy right now with their roles, but there are just certain games where Ohio State knows what it needs to do to keep all these guys pretty happy. There's a 5-star wide receiver on this team that I think has 1 catch this season. Julian Fleming will have 2 touchdown catches in this game. I think this is a game that he can build some confidence. He can get on the field and really show why he was the number 1 wide receiver and why he deserved that honor.
Yep.
And I think it's an opportunity for him to, finally introduce himself. Listen, Garrett, you're not going to introduce yourself against Akron. But there was a time 2 years ago where Garrett Wilson introduced himself to the college football world with an insane catch that Berm did great photographing against Miami, Ohio.
That's right.
And Miami was a terrible team then. And it was still like a coming out party for Garrett Wilson. I think that can be the same thing for a former 5-star guy this week, and I think it'll equal 2 touchdowns for him.
I'm going to go a little inside baseball here.
Okay, let's go.
Now, last week as we were walking off the field of Ohio Stadium, Julian Fleming had a fairly sizable limp that he was dealing with on his way up the tunnel.
Is he hurt?
I don't know. But I'm just saying that may be something that we should keep an eye on. He did have a fairly sizable limp. But I'm going to say this, and I've gone this route a couple times. Emeka Egbuka is going to have 10 catches.
Oh, that was very tricky.
10 catches for Emeka Egbuka because we're talking 5-star wide receivers. That kid has been so close to breaking a kick return each of the last 2 weeks. I think he's going to get a lot of reps this week at wide receiver. You put that kid in the slot against Akron when you have to deal with Marvin Harrison and Julian Fleming on the outside. Ooh, doggy. I don't think anyone's going to cover him. And I'm thinking double-digit catches. I think he had 75 catches in the spring game. I don't think he has 1/75 of that, or 7/5 of that. I don't know. I'm not great at math.
Wow.
I'm actually real bad at math, but I think he's going to have 10 catches.
So I'll do the, if you saw Julian Fleming with a limp, I feel like I need to be able to put an asterisk there.
Okay.
We'll replace his name with Marvin Harrison's name if Julian Fleming's not
He's
healthy.
just going to say a 5-star receiver against
No.
Pick one.
No, but if he's hurt.
Give me a 5-star.
If he's hurt and he sits this one out because it's Akron, I feel like there should be a plug-and-play guy, and that'd be Marvin Harrison.
I think you're right, though. This is an opportunity for him to get some reps he needs that he needs. So if he's ready to go, I think he's going to have a big day.
Because the other part of that is Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba do not need the reps. They should not be playing long in this game. Yeah. You have to make sure that those 3 are ready to go for the Big Ten slate. I think that will open up the opportunities that you're talking about for Julian Fleming, Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka,
Jaden Ballard.
We'll see how that actually transpires. Maybe Jeremy Ruckert and Cade Stover too. Who knows? The tight ends probably need to get more involved. I think that Tyleik Williams specifically, I know that Spencer already talked about the pass rush. This is a guy that needs that workload to expand. I think they're going to throw a lot of reps at the younger guys, JT Tuimoloau that you mentioned, Jack Sawyer, Tyleik Williams. These guys are probably going to be far more important than we thought they might have been. At least the other 2, the defensive ends, we could anticipate that they could be in the rotation. But this is a full-scale youth movement, and Ohio State wants to get them ready to start leaning on them, because if the veterans, they know what they're supposed to do. They've been developed by Mickey Rowdy for a long time. They've worked with Larry Johnson. If it's not going to happen and they're not going to play with the energy, Ohio State has no choice. They can't wait any longer. Once they get into Rutgers, Maryland, Indiana, and then the bigger one at the end of October, that's a long time, a lot of development, a lot of reps that they can give them. And just because it's Akron doesn't mean that you take it easy and play nothing but walk-ons here to get ready. So Tyleik Williams needs them, and I think he will make the most of them. That guy is really coming on. Spencer, you talked about him a lot in the spring, and he was banged up a little bit with an ankle injury, I believe it was. And so he's doing this without maybe a full year to get ready for it. You were right. This guy's got everything he needs to be a monster.
And I think that this is why you shouldn't have Akron scoring a lot of points in this game. I think Ohio State's defense is going to play it for a long time. I think all these young guys who were the backups at the beginning, only 3 games in, they're starting now. And you're not going to see a lot of these guys get pulled because they need those reps. I think you're going to see the starters play for a long time on defense in this game. I'm going to flip back over to offense for my final board prediction. How many yards did Ohio State have total against Oregon? A pretty good defense.
612.
612. Okay. Well, the last time I checked, Oregon is better than the team we're going to see Saturday night against Ohio State.
Because Akron sucks.
Because Akron is horrendous. It's
Horrendous.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out exactly which word we're using.
Terrible, horrendous, I don't care. Atrocious, that's a good word.
Booty.
Booty, yeah. Akron is booty. Okay. Ohio State will have 700 total yards of offense against Akron. Because
only 7.
not only
Conservative.
Not only is TreVeyon Henderson still really good and Mayan Williams still really good in the running game, like they're going to break runs even when Ohio State has the backups in. Evan Pryor may break loose for one of these. The quarterbacks have not thrown a pass behind C.J. Stroud. They have to throw the ball. They don't have a choice. And so this is why you're going to see 700 yards on the field, because they have to put up the yards. They have to get the reps in. They have to really score points to get back on track and show these backups that, you know, your reps are valuable too. We're not just going to hand the ball off in the second half.
Right.
700 yards of offense.
Okay. I've already proven that I'm extremely adept at mathematics today.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to delve into geography. How far away is Streetsboro, Ohio from Akron? Does anyone know? Anyone out there?
17 miles.
It's not far, I assure you.
Do I need to do it right now?
And so
No.
this being
He's the geography
the
major.
final non-conference game of the season, it's probably the one game where you can expect a player like Michael Hall to get into the game and play significant minutes. Michael Hall is going to have not 1, not 2, but 3 sacks against Akron on Sunday.
He's a worker. He's a hard worker.
Michael Hall is going to be a dude, and this is his chance to just put it on tape.
He's a grinder. He's a guy that is in the weight room all the time, is working really hard. That's a good one. That's a good deep cut. I like it.
Yes. Ding.
Okie doke.
Let's get a score prediction. Yeah, I can't be bothered to say the whole word. Too busy.
Prediction.
Yeah.
I predict. Well, Spencer, go first, and then I'll wrap up the show.
73-7.
Good thing we script these.
73-7. Okay. I like
the 3 is only because Ohio State is going to test Noah Ruggles' leg, because I think they should figure out.
Well, how are they just going to stop a drive on purpose?
No, but
Because
if
you said they were going to have 700 yards of offense.
Listen,
You're going to say they could have
listen.
scored a touchdown. They could have went for it on a 4th
yeah,
and 1.
on a fourth and a questionable one from the 38-yard line. Instead, they send him out there for a 55-yard field goal and say, "What do you got, kid?"
Okay, well, at least you have a specific justification for it.
73-7.
Okay.
I respect it.
52-3. I think Ohio State's going to obviously win the game. I think they'll win easily. But I don't know. I consider me just a little bit confused by what I saw out of this offense a week ago. I'm so glad for Ohio State that TreVeyon Henderson was able to do what he did, but he's not going to play 4 quarters this week. And I don't know that we haven't seen the home run hitting ability from the other guys on the offense other than TreVeyon and Garrett and Olave. And those guys should not play much. So I think you're going to see some of the younger guys get in. I think you'll see the ball moving a little bit, but I think you're going to see some discombobulation for you out there.
Oh no!
That stops some drives and maybe a turnover here or there, a dumb fumble by Xavier Johnson or someone like that is getting some carries.
Sorry, Xavier Johnson.
I'm just saying someone random that we're not expecting to really get a lot of carries or be on the field. And I'm going to say 52-3. I don't think it's a game that is going to feel very exciting for a number of reasons. 10 catches for Emeka Egbuka, though. You're welcome.
63-6, Ohio State will win. That is the bold prediction.
Love
It's been a great time, yeah.
Real quick. I am a huge fan of Maction. You guys know this. Yes, you guys know this. Listen, Tom Arth, if you're watching.
Who's Tom Arth?
He's the head coach of Akron.
Okay.
Tom.
Really did your homework for this show.
Look, you're trying really hard. You're building.
He's a better coach than Tim Allen.
You're trying to build something, Tom.
Tool Tom?
But listen, your team is bad. But
Wait, Spencer's giving a sermon.
Akron, he's trying really hard. He is really recruiting hard. He's doing everything that he should at Akron. He's doing everything that.
How do you know that?
Because I follow the MAC, but he's doing things and he's trying to get that program back on track because it's a program that has had success in the past. I'm sorry I've been so mean to you, Tom, but your team's terrible. Go ahead.
Tim Allen? Like Tool Time Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Oh. Who's that?
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it.
Is he Western Michigan's coach?
Tim Lester.
Too many Tims.
If your name is Tim.
Too many Tims in the MAC.
I've got a job for you. Coaching in the MAC. That's all it takes to get a job there.
Okay.
They'll promote you and give you a 4-year contract.
We should get out
We should digress out of here.
Those were bold predictions. That's and a hole. I'm on. Hope you had a great time. We'll see you right here next week for maybe a game where we don't call the opponent terrible and horrendous.
Booty.
But it's definitely still possible. We'll see you next time at Lettermen Row. Get your subscription right now at lettermenrow.com. $10 for your first year. You can't beat it.